Is the Ferrari 812 Superfast a supercar? How about the Corvette ZR1? Is that a supercar? What about this? These are the questions that no one's really asking. Wait, someone's asking. Hype Bear, he's back. In that case, let's make this video a fact-free zone. Hi, I'm Eric. Welcome back to another banger. Damn. Definitions are kind of like assholes. Everyone's got one, so I'm gonna tear the definition world a new one. So what's the difference between supercars, hypercars, and megacars? You might already think that you know what a supercar is, but I'm gonna define it. Stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you about a car you have never heard of. Quick fact, in 1920, a newspaper called The Times referred to the 6.7-liter Ensign 6 as a supercar. I tried to find out more about it, but I couldn't really find any power ratings, but I think it's pretty safe to assume it's probably got less power than a modern-day Corolla. I'm just going to set a couple of parameters here. We're going to talk about cars that have been actually produced and sold as street-legal cars since 2010. And now it's time to define supercars, according to me. Power! Everyone loves power. Okay, maybe a bit more than that. Let's say 650 to 800 horsepower, and let's set a minimum MSRP, which is the sales price, of $120,000 US. So of course, a supercar isn't just about the numbers. We're talking about cars that have a performance level probably in the top 5%. Cars that really push the technology boundary, also look cool, but have a high level of attention to detail. Definitely a level of luxury, but also function, but it's really form integrated with function. As an example of something that I think is not a supercar, I'm thinking about the Ariel Atom. It can probably kick a lot of supercars' ass on track, but basically it's just a skeleton. It doesn't look great, and there's definitely no level of luxury at all. It is pure function. All right, go ahead and fight me on this, but I'm actually going to put the ZR1 into the supercar category. Let me tell you why. 755 horsepower from a 6.2-liter LT5 supercharged engine. 0 to 60 in 2.85 seconds and a top speed of 212 miles an hour. If that's not supercar territory from a production car, I don't know what is. And what's unique about the Corvette in this category is it's the only front-engine car. A somewhat less controversial pick in this category is the Ferrari 488 GTB. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, and it costs about $256,000, basically double what the Corvette is. Top speed, 205 miles an hour. Actually a little slower than the ZR1. All right, I'm sick of this hat. Next up in this category is the McLaren 720S. I think the name might give away the horsepower figure. It costs about $290,000, top speed of 212 miles an hour. And what is really cool about this car is that when Motor Trend tested it at Willow Springs at Big Willow, it was actually the fastest production car they've ever tested. I've driven Big Willow a number of times, and I can tell you it is one of the scariest tracks I've ever driven. To hit 121 in a production car really tells you how much engineering and testing and refinement has gone into the McLaren, and so in my mind, this is really at the top of the supercar echelon. There's a ton more cars that can go into the supercar category, so let me know in the comments below if you want me to talk more about supercars, or you want me to focus on more affordable cars that people like you and me can actually drive and not go broke. To move up beyond supercars, we gotta define what a hypercar is, and for that, I'm gonna bring in my notable expert, Hype Bear. Oh, you want me to call you Hyper Bear now? No ego here at all. 800 to 1,000 horsepower and an MSRP of $900,000. All right, well, you know what opinions are like. I can go with that. Another car that gives you a clue to the degree of exclusivity it has is the Porsche 918. Can you guess how many were actually produced? $845,000. It just misses my $900,000 threshold. However, you can imagine trying to get one of these things now, it's going to cost you well over $1 million. To be classified as a hypercar, I think you've got to have a level of technology which really pushes the envelope. And of course, the Porsche 918 does. It has one gas motor and 2 electric motors totaling 887 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds. Everyone likes horsepower, but torque is really where it's at. And because of the electric motors, it makes 940 pounds-feet of torque. That is immense. And a top speed of 211 miles per hour. Oh, he thinks that the Porsche 918 should go back down into the supercar category because the McLaren 720S was faster than it at Willow Springs. So, is the McLaren 720S a hypercar or is the Porsche 918 a supercar? They kind of cross categories, but to my mind, the 918 has got so much technological development in it that it really kind of pushes it up into the next threshold, and plus, it's just a whole lot more expensive. The McLaren P1 is still actually in production, and it's going for about $1.3 to $1.6 million. McLaren takes a little different approach to hybrids with a single electric motor and a 3.8-liter twin-turbo gas engine. Total output, 909 horsepower. Top speed, 217 miles an hour. I want this. There's a couple more cars we could put into this category, but now let's venture off into the truly high-end, mega car. Let's just keep it simple and say 1,000 to 1,500 horsepower. The Koenigsegg Agera RS is currently the world's fastest production car. I know a lot of you don't like the way I pronounce the names of supercars, so I'm gonna say it in Swedish. Koenigsegg. You happy? I hope you've got a spare $2 million sitting around, because that's what this car is gonna cost you. 0 to 60 is somewhere around 2.6 to 2.8, but that's not what this car is all about. So that makes the Koenigsegg Agera RS the world's fastest certified production car. The Bugatti what's that? Oh, I've pronounced it wrong. It's like Ed. Oh, like Ed Sheeran. And just a quick note, a Chiron is a Greek centaur like this bad dude. Let's see how it's pronounced in The Lightning Thief.
In my world, I'm known as Chiron.
And I just gotta say thank you to all 500 of you or so that, corrected me in that last video. The Bugatti Chiron. The Chiron. The Chiron. The Bugatti Chiron. The Chiron. The Bugatti Chiron. Starting price around 2.6 million US dollars, depending on the exchange rate. 0 to 60, 2.3 to 2.5, obviously depending on conditions. Nearly 1,500 horsepower, which today puts it at the top of the production car class. Top speed, 261 miles an hour, if the car actually lets you do it. Before you can attempt a top speed run, you actually need to use a second key, and the car will actually check a whole bunch of different parameters, including the age of the tires. 236 miles per hour, that is the miserably low limit that you're going to be constrained to if you try to do a top speed run and the car detects that ABS kicks in, or that stability comes on, or that you got too much steering angle. I've just paid $2.6 million and you have taken away my right to go and kill myself stupidly in an amazing car crash that will end up all over YouTube. Sheesh. But wait, there's more. It's the Mondo Max Ultra Mega Car. $25 million, 25,000 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 0.1 seconds, top speed 550 miles an hour, and it gets 62 miles per gallon fuel economy. It's the Begone Devil Seg, and it looks like this. It's a true international car made of hopes and dreams and the ability to completely defy all physical laws. And now we're at the category that I guarantee you've never heard of. Ridiculous Mega LS Swap Car. It's a union of precision German engineering and heavy-duty LS muscle. Together, almost sexually, in one amazing compact chassis. And yes, it's actually a real thing. I'm actually making this car. I'm trying to cram an LS2 engine from my GTO into my 2000 Mercedes SLK, and I guarantee you it is gonna work. But it needs a special kind of man with a special kind of lube that only I can provide. I'll tell you, I've got a secret. I've developed a special tool to help get it in. I'm calling it the LSK 600. Let me know on Instagram or Twitter what cars you want me to cover, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to hit that bell and subscribe.